To Roxanne, who you saw there, and Tommy Walsh, who's a campaigner for the rights of older people. Good morning to you both.
Hi, guys.
Morning.
That looked as if it felt horrible.
It was quite claustrophobic,
yeah,
but it was necessary, and I'm really privileged to have done this. It's an actor's dream to go undercover and have all those prosthetics, but yeah, the experience, as I was talking to Tommy about before, was just, shocking.
I mean, we saw the clips, and you need to say the right things about what's happening, but were you genuinely surprised?
I was close to tears. After about an hour, I just felt so lonely, so ignored. And it's shocking because you expect society to have this compassion, this respect, and you expect, you know, of any age, for the person next to you, if they see you struggling, to help. You know, help thy neighbour. And it's just not happening with a certain generation. It's not transferring.
You say you've spoken to Tommy about it. Tommy, does that resonate with you? Have you experienced that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think what I found as an older person, that I know I'm old, I look old, but inside I'm quite young thinking. And then when people come to speak to me, it's hello, Tommy, and they shout. As if I'm deaf, and I'm not deaf. And they're very sort of, I almost feel somebody's going to pat me on the head. It's one of those sort of feelings. And that's where I feel the discrimination. That, you know, we should be allowed to be as we are. I can take part talking to people and all that sort of thing, but they don't seem to see it that way. One of the things they always say to me, what are you going to be doing today, Tommy?
What are you doing today?
this is sort of implying I'm going to sit and watch the telly. Well, no. So what I kill them stone dead. When they say that to me, I say, well, I don't know whether to have a shave or swill the backyard. And they look at me, and then it kills it stone dead. They don't come that one again.
The thing is, not everyone has the confidence that you have to bat away people patronising you, and this is the problem. So what do you say to people who feel isolated, as Roxanne, you experienced when you put the prosthetics on?
And patronised, like you were saying. I had that.
You know, how does that change?
Well, I know what we're talking about this morning, but one of the biggest problems, if we're talking about problems for being elderly, is this loneliness business. This is something that wants to be highlighted more than it is at the moment. It's people that are stuck in the house that never get out. And it's those that feel not so much about talking down to you, which is a problem, but it's all these people in the house on their own. And all it takes is for somebody just give them a 10-minute call, and then it doesn't have to put you up, or go and see them, or take the kids around to see them. And it's surprising. That's what elderly people want. I know we discriminate against certain things, like I just described, talking down to you. Don't think that's the problem.
And Roxanne, the research actually says that there's ageism felt at the other end of the scale as well. Did you ever experience that as a young person, before you put the prosthetics on, if you like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm often told, without all this makeup on, that I look a lot younger than 33. And I have experienced, you know, getting on first class and having a few looks off people like, should you be here? Especially if I'm in my comfies, in my tracksuit. Or I once was spoken down to in a shop, and somebody said, you know, come here, young child. And I got called young child, and I was 29. And I thought, oh, I should be flattered. But again, I think every age group does experience it, like you said, like both ends of the spectrum. But like you were saying then, yeah, I do think there's an isolation for a generation that perhaps don't have any family and go a whole week without any interaction. And I personally have a pen pal who is called Jim Gardner. He's 81, and we write to each other and we visit each other. And he was a friend of my granddad's, who's no longer with us. But I make sure that every couple of weeks we converse and we talk about everything.
That's right.
And that's important. And I think that the younger generation should go and visit, even if you don't have a grandparent, go and visit somebody.
No one's going to disagree with what Tommy says. What you said that people should be talking to each other. I'm somewhere in the middle, not you know, middle-aged. So I would feel a bit awkward going up to someone I'd never met saying, would you like me to pop round 10 minutes once a week? I'd feel...
you already know. But it's not a stranger, perhaps.
But there are people who have no members of family and who do feel isolated. So how do you... I mean, Tommy, how do you say to someone, OK, you can approach these people who are lonely, who are isolated, without patronising them, without scaring them?
But you said, I couldn't walk up to somebody, I did no one say, can I come round for the chat? No, it's not done that way. There are loads and loads of people that you must know. But just give them a 10-minute call. Or, as I say, send the kid. When I was a kid, You used to chase us round to your aunties. You Sunday morning, you come out of mass, right, go and see your auntie. And all those youngsters went round to see our aunties. Now, that doesn't seem to go on now. And I know that my aunties really appreciated getting young people.
It's lost because of technology, and what we're all consumed is social media, texting. Well, maybe the older generation don't text, they're not on Facebook, they're not on social media. They want that interaction, that face-to-face, like you said, go around and visit. And it's not a case of find a person over the age of 70 and go and befriend them. It's do you have a neighbour that perhaps lives on their own? Do you need any shopping done? You know, especially if the weather's bad. Do you want me to pick something up? Invite them round for Sunday lunch.
That's right.
You know, visit. Everybody knows an older person, even if it's not family. You know someone. It's the effort.
Simple comments.
It's the gesture, it's the effort,
And it does make a big difference. It really does.
Well, it's lovely to have you both on. You make a lovely couple.
Oh, thank you. That's how rumours start, isn't it, Tommy?
I think there's a friendship for life that has been established on this sofa. It's great.